Imagine a red fluffy squirrel running out into the forest to collect food for the winter. Scrounging up as many acorns as he can, as he scurries back to his home, he hears a loud grating noise. This is followed by a crash as his home tumbles to the ground. Sure, there are other trees that he could go to for shelter, right? But none would be the same again. He had spent his entire life in that tree and now it is completely gone. Who could say that the other trees wouldn't be destroyed as well? He's scared, lost, and alone. Now, as to reflect, what if we were in that kind of situation? Imagine we are standing outside of a brand new house in the woods that was worked on tirelessly for months and is finally finished. Then, a construction worker says, "It is time for you to move," because they are knocking down the house. How do you feel at that time? The same goes for them. Wildlife also has sad feelings when they lose their home or even a loved one. This clearly shows that our own hands as humans are destroying nature as the main place for wildlife to live and shelter. I am interested in a quote authored by Jane Goodall, who is known as an English primatologist and anthropologist. She said that chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans have been living for hundreds of thousands of years in their forests, living their fantastic lives, never overpopulating, and never destroying the forest. I would say that they have been way more successful than us as far as being in harmony with the environment. Hello, my name is Akif and today I would like to deliver a speech about how nature and humans are connected. Nature provides tons of benefits to humans, such as supplying the continuity of water, boosting mental health, and also improving observational skills. Firstly, where does the water we use come from? From a tap, yes, or from a well or a river, right? But behind these sources, nature is the supplier of the continuity of water, which cycles, stores, cleans, and releases the fresh water we use. The water that keeps us healthy and fed, and that powers industry and economy, comes to us via nature. The benefits people receive from nature are called ecosystem services. Forests, aquifers, soils, lakes, and wetlands provide water storage. The evidence is, wetlands and soils filter water. Rivers provide conveyance and transportation. Wetlands and floodplains lower flood peaks in downstream cities, while mangroves, coral reefs, and barrier islands protect coasts against storms and inundation. Nature absorbs and recycles excess nutrients and water pollution, and all of these services from nature contribute to water security. Just like my first experience when I once participated in jungle trekking activity, there was a time when my water bottle was totally empty because I have drank all of them, and suddenly my coach cut down a small tree trunk using a parang and he gave it to me. He told me to hold the trunk vertically until I saw water dripping out from the center part of it. And the most shocking moment was the fact that he told me to lick those droplets just like that. And I'm really confused and afraid at that time because my mind kept thinking, am I going to die if I lick those droplets? Then he said that this trunk has a high amount of water stored inside it and is safe to drink whenever we are lost in the jungle or running out of water. Now, to justify, nature can only continue to deliver its services where ecosystems are healthy and functioning well. As we use and divert water, we must ensure that ecosystems receive the water they need. Nature is both the source of our water and a water user. Where this is not recognized, biodiversity is harmed and people lose the multiple benefits nature provides. Therefore, the integral to water security is nature for water and water for nature. Secondly, nature helps us to boost mental health. It is true that hiking and any physical activities can help us to reduce stress and anxiety, right? But there is something about being in nature that may augment those impacts. In one recent experiment conducted in Japan, participants were assigned to walk either in a forest or in an urban center by taking walks of equal length and difficulty while having their heart rate variability, heart rate, and blood pressure measured. The participants also filled out questionnaires about their moods, stress levels, and other psychological measures. Surprisingly, the results showed that those who walked in forests had significantly lower heart rates and higher heart rate variability, indicating more relaxation and less stress. They also reported better moods and less anxiety than those who walked in urban settings. Hence, the researchers concluded that there is something about being in nature that had a beneficial effect on stress reduction, above and beyond what exercise alone might have produced. To further reinforce this statement, I went to my village this weekend, and in my village neighborhood, there is a small pond and all behind it is just woods. I've traveled in these woods as a little kid numerous times with my friend and her father, and he would teach us about the different bugs, trees, and rocks we encountered along the way. Going back into the woods this past weekend, I was overcome with a feeling of nostalgia. I remember the times when we would try to climb up the trees, chase after the grasshoppers, or even just walk around having a glance at the astonishing nature and all the fun times we used to have. Walking through the woods alone made me miss all the fun times I had as a child. As a child, I was carefree. I knew who my friends were, and I have no worries about trust issues and my relationships with others. Growing up, especially in Kalik, I've begun to question myself. I have a whole lot more stress, and things are not as simple as they once used to be. Last but not least, exploring nature can also help you refine your observational skills. If you pay attention to your natural surroundings, even taking time to be still and listen, will draw your attention to rare plants and animals. Studies have also shown that being outdoors, especially in nature, can help to protect your eyes against myopia. It is a common condition that affects vision and makes things appear blurry. And it is thought that increasing cases of myopia is a side effect of spending too much time in front of screens. Therefore, since I am still studying online mode, I spend almost half of my day looking at the screen on either my handphone or laptop, and it is quite straining my eyes a lot. I have no other choices at all for this particular time, but that does not mean I will keep going on with this habit without having any relaxation time. Since I had sometimes experienced the blurry effects while facing the screen for a few hours straight, I quickly found myself getting more engaged with nature whenever I had free time. For example, I would go out and water the plants that my mom had planted in the backyard of my house. Besides that, I will also go cycling on the recreational field during the holiday, and all I did was aim to improve my eyes' sharpness and also to interact with the real world, especially by seeing more of the greenery of nature, because green is a color that evokes a feeling of abundance and is associated with refreshment and peace, rest and security. Even on my study desk too, I had placed a small plant to help me stay focused during long hours of class and also to improve my memory retention as well as increase my productivity of work whenever I have been assigned a new task. Closing my speech, I want to emphasize that our responsibility as human beings is enormous to nature in terms of maintaining the ecosystem stability so that no more wildlife is threatened with extinction. And the most importantly is to ensure the future generations can experience the beauty of nature that God has created for us. In the end, I would just say that please don't keep my words to yourself only. I request all to spread the message around so that every person can become a responsible global citizen who can contribute to saving our beloved planets. So that is all from me. Thank you very much for watching my video. Till we meet again. Assalamualaikum.